Okay, so in the next clip you're not going to be able to see my face and you're going to be able to see my hand, but also, like this clip, I'm going to be holding my phone rather than using like a tripod. So yeah, there might be a bit of movement, and yeah, I pre-apologise for that, but there was no way of putting a tripod that was like workable. It just wasn't happening. So I apologise for any like wobbly hand, but I'll try my best to keep it still. So this pile here is probably, I think it's about 10 of my sketchbooks. I don't know, I never counted them, but I'm starting off with like this first one is my Project Art and Happiness one, and then I'm going to go in size order. So I'm just going to show you what I've been doing this week in here, because I've only started using it this week. So I did this one line drawing, which is one of my favourite techniques to do in a sketchbook, where you basically get your pen, and I'm really sorry, I can hear upstairs again, and I wish they would be quiet. So basically you start off drawing and you do not lift your hand from the paper, you just keep going. So you can see where I've like repeated on lines to go back the way, and it just creates this really nice like wobbly effect, but like it's just, yeah, it's really interesting to see. And next I've got some bits that I've stuck in, and you can see that charcoal has transferred onto the next page, which most people hate, but I like that look. But to get rid of that, like to minimise it, you can use hairspray or fixative, which is much more expensive. It's like glorified hairspray. Use cheap hairspray and it'll keep your charcoal in place. So these were just like little notes that I was writing about, like to enjoy. So I was writing like intuition is good. These were my intuitive drawings. And then just like different sort of things I was thinking, like be kind to yourself, trust the process. Then we get onto this page of just little paintings I was doing. Again, they're all stuck in because I like to paint and then stick it in with masking tape, but you can paint straight into a sketchbook, it just means you've got to let it sit and dry. There's some more, oh yeah, I've wrote a note here, watercolour dropped onto wet surface. So that's this one here, where I've like wet the surface pre-drawing on it, painting on it. I've done that a little bit here as well, and it just gives this nice spreading effect. And I did this little drawing, and I basically just ripped these up and stuck them in. If you follow my Instagram, you will have seen this. And I'm writing about, this is like journaling, because you can do a bit of journaling in your sketchbook where I like to write in the middle of the page and then draw or paint around it, or I'll like make a background while I like doing these kind of backgrounds, this, and then writing over the top of it. And yeah, that's all that I've got in this sketchbook so far, plus I'm printing onto the next page because not Posca's Pro markers can go through the paper, but they look amazing because they merge and don't leave streaks. So if you're looking for good pens, Pro markers are good, but they do print onto the next page. So that's the first sketchbook. Next up I have a really small sketchbook which was from my second year at uni, and in here I was writing about colour theory by Kandinsky, who is an artist that I spoke about in the abstract, I think, video. So I wrote about his colour theory, and it's mostly just notes. This is just showing another way you can use purpose of colour and playfulness in my work, and I was just writing about them and artists that I'd looked at. I didn't put pictures in here, unfortunately. This is another way you can use, oh, I did put pictures in, that you can use your sketchbook. This is how I mainly use my sketchbook. Colour Theory by Zoe Cook, aka me. I haven't actually looked through these books since probably I did them. I had a quick flick through them earlier just to make sure they were like alright for using for this video, just to like see how they were. And I seen this colour theory and thought it was quite interesting, so yeah, there's like no drawings or anything in here, it's just photos and writing. This next one's probably my favourite sketchbook of all time. I apologise for the writing, the swearing. Some of the sketchbook has got some swearing and stuff in it, and some of it does throughout, because I just, you know, I write what comes into my head. So, but yeah, these are just some like drawings of friends and stuff. that I did. And then I overlaid like, this is cling film with Posca written on it. Just experimenting. This was one of my favourite drawings. This was with my friend Maria with an ice cream. But yeah, they were mostly just studies of my friends, but it gets like more interesting. If you know me, you'll know this used to be my profile picture on Instagram. Again, with the swearing, I really needed to calm down, but like some of these were quite good. Like, they're not good art pieces, but they're interesting to look back at. But yeah, I was basically keeping this like a diary eventually and just writing about how I felt and stuff, and doing some random drawings like that. I'm just going to go through the whole sketchbook, so and some lyrics. Lyrics are good to add in as well if you're feeling like a connection to certain lyrics or stuff. This is where I quite liked it, where it got interesting. I drew on cling film again. This was a photo of me kissing myself in the mirror. And just trying to accept things. Again, with the cling film, did a lot of that. You can use acetate, it's a bit more expensive, but cling film is like accessible. And then I kind of drew on photos and printed on photos with stamps. And I just really like doing this, and I finished it off with this phrase. This is definitely not going to be approved for under 18 on YouTube. So that is that sketchbook, which I really like. It's just one of the, it's just a interesting sketchbook. So you've all seen this sketchbook from the corners and that in the back of the videos I was just recording. This is like just experimenting with watercolour and doing like just looking at shapes and colour. This was between going from school to uni, so I was quite into florals and stuff at the time. I was just creating shapes, and some of it looks ugly like this. Like, I do not like the way this looks, but it was experimenting and it's great to experiment. Then I was writing about colour, and then some more shape stuff with different colours. Oh, I was writing about the emotions of colours, I think. I've always been interested in emotion and colour, even before I wrote about Kandinsky. There's some pages in there, a wee eye, some more ugly pages. I like this, this is quite nice. More ugly pages. And some printing, which I do not know where this rubber print is anymore, but I wish I knew where it was. But yeah, it was like lino cut, and I think, yeah, I'd drawn it out here, then put it onto the lino, and I need to get back into printing ASAP. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep flicking through this because I love these pages. I remember doing them and I really enjoyed them. And is that, oh, I knew there was a colour page. So yeah, I was just playing with colour, and it's interesting. I think that's the end of the book. Oh no, there's more. Okay, yeah, that's the end. But yeah, I quite like that sketchbook, and I haven't looked in it in a really long time. This next sketchbook was composed as more of a book. Like, it was, what I mean by that is it was composed at the end of a project, so I didn't do it throughout. It was more to describe my work, so it's quite curated. It's covered in glitter, and it basically was, we'd done all these photo shoots and we stuck them in and wrote about the personalities of our characters that we made. I'm just going to flick through this. I love this page. This is one of my favourite pages because it just works so well. Some digital drawings that I did. And then I was just writing about my work and stuff, and describing it. I'll just quickly flick through this. Oh yeah, this definitely needs, at least it's censored. There's some funny photos, I love this one. But yeah, I was just like drawing on images and stuff and cutting them out and creating them into like little characters. Disco Disco. And that's the end of that book. But yeah, that was quite a curated one. That wasn't a journey. So that's different. It's something you can do at the end of a project, is create like a book. But yeah, that was from my second year at uni, my second semester. I'm just going to show little bits of this sketchbook. So here was a little drawing that I did. I think this wasn't a uni one. This was just a random sketchbook. That's a really ugly drawing of me. Random other drawings. This is the thing, like, you don't need to make it good. Like, I just filled pages with squiggles. A bit of lyrics, if you know Lord Lovelace, great song. And the next one is also from Lord Lovelace. I was just connecting to those lyrics and loved it. And some more squiggles. I love this page. I really want to colour this in. And a little cute little page, and this is what I was talking about earlier, that I might make into a colouring page or something. And I did a little drawing. This next one is partly what inspired the project. I was in a Facebook group, well I still am in a Facebook group for creating sketchbook things, like sketchbook challenges. So it was a 30-day sketchbook challenge in January. So this was created on the 1st of January this year, and I did most days, but I did miss out a couple. So this was a recreation of Yayoi Kusama's work. This is what I meant by creating a background and then drawing over the top of it when I said about doing sketchbooks. So I drew my perfume bottles, and I'll just flick through some of this and I'll cut out ones that I don't want to show. But this sketchbook really shows where like my strengths and weaknesses lie, and how you can, like, not everything has to be perfect, because some of my drawings in here are like great and other ones look like this, which is just like a basic line drawing that's not great, and this terrible in my opinion, but only because the creativity wasn't there. This painting is out with the sketchbook because I did it in oil paint and I did it on a canvas background to stick in. Never ever stuck it in because I want to frame it. I'll just keep flicking through this. I know. One line drawing again. I hated this drawing, but now I like it. So that's another thing, you might hate something months ago and go back to it and really like it. I love the way the watercolour looks in that painting, but it's just because it's not what I wanted at the time. But now that I look back at it, I can appreciate it. So it's taken 5 months, and I really liked this drawing at the time. I loved it. Letter F for face. A little bit of Gatsby. One that I thought was terrible, but I love the background on it. Another missing page. Some of these I was kind of giving up on. I think I was on holiday at this point and I really couldn't be bothered. But I did this one whilst I was on holiday and I loved that. I really like that drawing. A terrible cartoon of my cat. I'm not interested in cartoons, so I was even missing pages in case I wanted to go back and do the ones that I'd missed out, if you're wondering why. Yeah, these aren't great. I like this one though. I just had a simple line drawing, but it was of my bedroom in my old house. And I really like this one, which was the last day. Goals, and it was happiness. And I just felt like this was happiness. So it's done in watercolour, which I just love watercolour. It's just so beautiful. And the last sketchbook I'm showing was from, how long ago was this from? My 3rd year at uni, in the 1st semester. And you can see the charcoal transfer, which I actually quite like. Like, I prefer this side over this side. But yeah, I basically did a really terrible drawing and hated it and wrote about it. And I thought it was interesting to show that because, as I said, not everything has to be perfect. Sorry, I'm going to move. And then here was like a better version of that drawing, which I find quite interesting to look at now because I did it in biro and grey pen, which is an interesting combination. And then I used my sketchbooks to basically plan out my artwork, and I wrote some stuff out. that was like getting on to me. Like I wrote a big frustration, something about being confused. I was having a bit of an identity crisis by the looks of things. But yeah, I just did some random drawings. I love that one at the top, but then this one here is not so great. I was writing about Graham Kindle, who I mentioned before, one of my favourite artists, just for this one exhibition he did. It's just been like such an inspiring piece for my work, and the sketchbook's fallen apart apparently. So excuse that. Didn't realise it was falling apart before. Yeah, I added some like diary entries in, some photos of me crying, Instagram posts. Another thing that I've not mentioned is adding your Pinterest boards in, so I'll speak a bit about that in a minute. Yeah, this is really falling apart. So this is a big sketchbook, so that's why this is happening. But I was basically making these little films about emotions, and it worked really well and I got quite a good grade for it, and it's all just falling on the floor. This is chaotic. But yeah, it turned out really well. It was just like, this is how I did it, and showed my ideas. So yeah, that's the last one, but I'll speak a bit more in a second. Okay, so I don't always do a roundup of the videos, but today I'm gonna like recap on what we spoke about. So sketchbooks allow us to experiment with anything, colour, texture, mediums, take notes, write about artists, explore techniques and work intuitively. That was what I've noted down. There's many more things that sketchbooks allow you to do, but that's just like what my main points were. And what I'm going to ask is that this isn't just a week's challenge, this is like a challenge throughout, like, because like most of my challenges have kind of come across like a week, like people have done it when I first like post it. But if you want to post pictures of your sketchbook pages, like go ahead, like at any point, like weeks ahead. I've said that about all the projects. If you still want to do a collage right now, or collage into your sketchbook, but if you still want to post a collage right now, go ahead. But I just think like it would be cool to see people's sketchbook ideas and stuff. But ideas for like your first 3 pages could be that you make a Pinterest board and you print it off and stick it in, because the picture will be little. Just like screenshot your screen on your laptop or your phone or whatever, and put like pages of Pinterest pictures into your sketchbook where your ideas, so you can always refer back to that first page to like get ideas and stuff. That's something I like to do. You could do a page on about me, so you could draw like a little stick man, or like you could draw like the most beautiful drawing of yourself, and then draw things around you or write things around you. I just think that's a nice way to start off, or like write about your interests, even if it's just writing, like just get it out there and get it into your book, because like it just makes it more personal. And a page of playing with colour, because that's my favourite thing to do. Use colours that make you happy and smile. If you want to, use ones that make you sad, use ones that express your emotions. Just have pages of colour because it's great, and make some background pages, like I'd shown the pages where I'd splashed watercolour around and then drawn over the top of it. Like go ahead and make stuff like that. It's so easy to do, it's so much fun to do, and just enjoy it. Like I can't express how much sketchbooks are about enjoyment, learning, discovering, and just having a good time. So I'll pop that back there, and I just want to say thank you very much for being patient with me these last couple of weeks. I'm still in a lot of pain. I don't know what's happened to my back, but it's very painful, so I'm sitting on a proper seat instead of the floor for once. And yeah, thank you for being patient whilst I was doing up the room. I hope it looks a lot better for you. If people want to suggest background stuff, that's like go ahead, but basically this room's going to get covered in paintings and little bits and pieces and shelves and plants, because that's the things that I like, and I want my room to basically be a big sketchbook. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope you all enjoy making sketchbooks, and I will leave some links to some cheap sketchbooks in the group. So
and if I forget, just ask me. And if anyone wants to know any materials or anything that's good for sketchbooking or start out materials, like just hit me with a message or send a post on the write a post on the page, because I'll be able to help, and so will a lot of people in the group. Thanks so much for watching.